Today's episode of this anime begins with a prince standing before his guard. The guard informs him that the homunculus want to return to Solomon, where their explicit expression of love and lack of possession causes them to lose control. The prince asks about Baal, and the guard reveals that he escaped after waking up. He extends his hand, holding a glowing stone, and tells the prince that his hatred will be unleashed and destroy him. The prince inquires about Baal's fate, and the guard explains that after exhausting his mana, he will die on his own. The scene then transitions to Angeline dreaming of her and her father fighting a monster. Suddenly, Angeline wakes up and looks at Shore and Miyako, stating that she must protect them. The scene shifts to Angeline and Shore, where Shore is dressing elegantly. Angeline asks Shore to fix her hair, and Shore agrees. After arranging Angeline's hair, Shore creates a beautiful braid, and Angeline expresses her gratitude. The scene concludes with Angeline being happy to have younger siblings. Next, the three heroes walk through the market, holding hands. Angeline asks if this is entertaining, and Miyako replies that they should relax a bit. Angeline reassures them that she will protect them, and they are safe with their older sister. Suddenly, a growling sound comes from Shore's stomach, indicating hunger. Angeline suggests they go for food, and Shore asks Miyako what he wants to eat. Miyako, with a sulky face, tells Shore to choose. Angeline laughs, revealing that Shore has been tamed by her. They enter a restaurant, and Angeline's sisters join them. The scene shifts to Grandma Maria, and Angeline asks if they can sit with her. Grandma Maria agrees, but asks them to be quiet. Angeline explains they came to town to buy ingredients. When asked about her companions, Angeline introduces her younger siblings. Grandma Maria expresses surprise, and Angeline explains that they are her little brother and sister. Then Angeline tells Grandma Maria that she's just joking, and the siblings are staying with her for personal reasons. She introduces Charlotte and Miyako, and the children greet Grandma Maria warmly. Grandma Maria looks at Charlotte and mentions that she has a lot of mana, and the boy has unique mana properties. She asks who he is, and Miyako responds that he doesn't know. Grandma Maria calls him impolite and mentions his excessive use of magical circles. Miyako admits he doesn't know, and Grandma Maria advises him not to cast too many magical circles. Miyako is seen talking to himself, explaining that he's protecting himself from surprise attacks. Grandma Maria suggests adding snake effects to his automatic defense, but notes he can do better. Miyako tells her to mind her own business, and suddenly Grandma Maria uses her magic. On Miyako's left is a flat blue circle, and on his right is a spherical circle. She tells him he can cast a triangular pyramid or cube on those circles. If he fails, people will sense his mana. Angeline asks Grandma Maria if she can teach Charlotte some defensive spells. Grandma Maria, a strict teacher, says she doesn't like Unsuria's students and tells Angeline to see Charlotte's potential first. Angeline is happy because it seems like a promise from Grandma Maria. The scene shifts to the night market, where our heroes walk again. The girl with sad hair is asked by Angeline what's wrong. Charlotte confesses she doesn't know if it's right to enjoy life after the atrocities they committed. Angeline reassures her, saying life is full of surprises. Suddenly, a group of men appears, questioning Charlotte and Miyako's audacity in showing themselves in the town. Charlotte apologizes, but one of the men claims that Solomon was a deception, and they return the money. Miyako questions why they're still being chased, and Angeline steps forward. One of the men tells Angeline not to interfere in matters that don't concern her. Angeline clarifies that she never said they didn't make mistakes, but children who regret their actions shouldn't be bullied. As the man gets angry at her, suddenly, a girl named Rosetta-san appears. She questions them about mistreating children, and Vienna-sama seems saddened by their behavior. The men express surprise, and one of them suggests avoiding trouble with a nun from the Vienna sect. Rosetta then takes Angeline, Charlotte, and Miyako with her. Angeline thanks Rosetta, who mentions she's relieved they're unharmed. Rosetta asks Angeline who these children are, and Angeline introduces them by name, explaining they're staying with her for some reasons. Rosetta introduces herself as a nun from the neighboring church orphanage. The children hesitate to respond, and Angeline tells them that Rosetta helped them, so they shouldn't show hostility. Rosetta is surprised to learn Angeline's possible connection to their mothers. Rosetta questions Angeline further, and Angeline insists she's serious. Shore remarks that she shouldn't be involved with a nun from the Vienna sect. Rosetta looks at her and realizes Shore has experienced something unpleasant. She asks if Shore wants to talk about it, but Shore responds that she has nothing to say. Rosetta understands there's a painful experience involved. Angeline gets annoyed at Shore's reaction and tells Rosetta that Shore doesn't want to talk about it. Shore angrily states that she doesn't need pity from a Vienna nun. Rosetta explains that some religious figures misuse their positions, but there are also those who genuinely lead quiet lives. The goddess doesn't abandon people like them. Shore becomes furious and accuses Rosetta of lying, mentioning that the Vienna sect prays day after day, attends all rituals, and still, the goddess didn't save her parents. She breaks down, crying, and leaves them. Rosetta apologizes to the man for the disturbance and explains they were just talking. As she walks away, she bumps into a large man who asks them what they're doing here. Rosetta apologizes again and says they were just talking, but the man insists that misbehaving children must be punished and killed. He then shows a red light from his eyes and draws his sword, launching an attack. During the assault, Rosetta takes Shore away from him, and Angeline attacks and knocks him to the ground. We see that Rosetta has been injured in her back. Miyako then uses his magic, saving Angeline from the attack. As a group of guards approaches, Angeline carries Rosetta on her back, and Miyako uses his magic. Angeline tells Miyako not to harm them, and he requests the guards to leave. Angeline informs them that they will come with them, and they don't need to fight anymore. Suddenly, the guards arrive at the scene. Angeline carries Rosetta on her back, and Miyako uses his magic. Angeline tells Miyako not to harm them and requests the guards to leave. Angeline informs them that they will come with them, and they don't need to fight anymore. Then they take Rosetta to the clinic, and the guards suddenly arrive at the door, a large number of them. Angeline orders her guards not to kill the evil guards. She then asks Yuri-san, her friend, to disable the evil guards using her magic. Angeline will search for the one controlling them. Yuri-san uses her magic, attacking the guards. Miyako also uses his magic to defend against the guards. Angeline reminds them not to kill them. As they continue to fight, suddenly, Angeline sees that someone is controlling the guards, and she attacks and kills 3 mysterious figures on a strange platform. Then a mysterious figure with a covered face stands at a distance, seeing what Angeline did. He says they were weaker than to test her strength and vows to try again. A massive flash emits from the stone he holds. The scene transitions to the hospital, where Angeline, Shore, Miyako, and Rosetta are standing by her bed. Yuri informs them that they managed to stop Rosetta's bleeding, and she will be fine after some rest. Angeline thanks Yuri for her help, and Yuri mentions that they should be safe with Angeline's protection. Angeline then steps outside and expresses that she misses her father. Miyako tells Angeline that she's pitiable, as she boasted about them being safe with her. Angeline apologizes to Miyako, and he expresses that he finds her annoying when she doesn't resist him. She tells him that she doesn't quite understand what it means to protect someone and asks him what she should do. Miyako laughs and tells her that she constantly resembles Shore, always taking responsibility for her mistakes. Her behavior is no different from Shore's, and it's worse than her nerve-wracking behavior. Surprisingly, a strange creature resembling a small child, experimented on by many children, suddenly appears. A light emanates from its eyes, and it grows in size, drawing its sword and attacking those around it. Angie confronts it with all her strength and tells everyone to quickly escape because this monster is very dangerous. Miyako begins to use his enchantments and directly attacks it, but it doesn't seem to affect the creature. Angie advises Miyako to escape too, and she'll handle it alone. The creature then launches another attack faster than before, and Angie, despite being injured, stands her ground and fights back. However, the monster is too fast, deflecting all her blows. It attacks her, causing her face to bleed, but Angie, with the determination of a lion, continues to fight and eventually defeats it. She runs towards the monster, striking it again faster than before. However, the creature is incredibly fast and dodges all her attacks. Miyako watches as she gets injured in the face, blood dripping, but she fights with the determination of a lion. Suddenly, she runs towards the monster, hitting it again, but Miyako is not pleased because she is fighting alone, putting herself in constant danger. The monster then attacks her with full force, striking her and slamming her to the ground. At this moment, Miyako launches a counterattack, but the monster seems unaffected. Angie watches as Miyako fights, motivated and eager. However, it appears that Miyako's mana has been completely consumed. At this moment, the monster is about to deliver a fatal blow to Miyako, but Angie intervenes just in time, kicking it with her foot. Then Miyako attacks the monster again, transforming into a beast with black hair and hitting it with stone projectiles. However, the monster remains unaffected and pushes him away. Angie watches as Miyako fights, motivated and eager, but it seems that his mana has been completely consumed. The monster is about to deliver a fatal blow to Miyako, but Angie intervenes just in time, kicking it with her foot. She then tells Miyako that she will continue this journey and jumps on the monster, splitting it into two halves with a single blow. At this moment, we see the man using his destructive power until he is surprised by another person who appears and stops his power. It seems they know each other. Then they started a verbal argument first. The man wearing a mask on his face and head tells her that she looks in bad shape, so can she kill him now, being an old lady. Later, we find out that the woman is named Maria. She uses her tremendous power consisting of 3 spheres, but this man easily counters her. The grandmother tells her that it was just a test, and she uses her magic again. Suddenly, a strange magic appears beneath the man, pulling him down, and the grandmother releases her magic on him again. The man uses his own magic and says that the night is black, blood is silver, glowing embers, and the moonlight color everything. Then he disappears from in front of the grandmother and escapes. The scene then shifts to Rosetta waking up, and Angelina tells her not to strain herself as she has suffered a severe injury. Rosetta asks about Char, and Angelina replies that she doesn't know why she did that but is glad she's safe. Char thanks her for saving her, and then the scene transitions to Duncan carrying the little girl. He asks her to stop playing with his beard, and they are sitting with Belle, Mary, and her uncle. Uncle takes the little girl and comments that the children are charming. Mary asks Belle if she has thought about marriage or fallen in love before. Belle puts her hand behind her head and remembers a scene from the past with that girl. She sighs, and Mary asks her about the story behind that smile and if someone loves her. Duncan is surprised by his friend's question and asks the same. We then see Belle talking to herself, wondering what Percy, Chasm, and Suddy are doing. And thus, our episode ends. To continue watching the upcoming episodes, please subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell.